Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and I'm sitting here all barefaced, acne showing and everything, because I'm going to review another foundation for you guys. And this is going to go along with the whole finding that perfect foundation for me. And, you know, just up front, guys, I'm going to just kind of let you guys know that not everybody's skin type and skin tone and skin textures are the same. So what does or doesn't work for me might or might not work for you. But I'm hoping that these videos are going to be somewhat informative so you guys can kind of see, you know, the textures of these foundations, how they apply. Sorry, my cat just jumped off the table. That's why the camera wiggled. And I just want this to be a little bit, you know, informative for you guys so you guys can make a more informative decision when you're out and about trying to find a foundation. So the foundation that I'm talking about today is the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint Broad Spectrum SPF 30. Okay, it looks like this. And guys, I picked this up because I have the NARS Radiant Tinted Moisturizer with an SPF, and I absolutely love that stuff. I mean, it is great stuff. Let me show you guys the packaging. Okay, so this is the packaging of the Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer from NARS, this stuff here, and I love this stuff. And I've almost used it up, and it's a very, very sheer coverage, but it does even out your skin tone, and it does provide an SPF of 30, so I love it. So when this stuff came out, the Velvet Matte, I figured I would give this a try. This is new, I believe, on the market. So I thought, you know, hey, I love the Radiant one so much, let's try the matte one. And I do have a couple of matte foundations that I like. Like one of them, for example, is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I do really like that one, so I thought maybe a matte one would work for me. Alright, so I am in the color Finland, or Light 1, in the Velvet Matte. And this has got, how many ounces? This is 1.7 ounces of product. It was $44. I picked it up at Sephora. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started applying this. And I'm just going to let you guys know that I have worn this a few times. And I've applied it with a beauty blender. I've applied it with my Real Techniques. Why can't I ever say that? I've applied it with my Real Techniques sponge. I've applied it with actually 2 different foundation brushes, and I find that the best method of this application is with the original beauty blender. I mean, the Real Techniques sponge is really good and I do like it, but for this one it applies best with the original beauty blender sponge. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So when you open it up, it's got the little cap that pops open. It's in your squeezy tube. There's no pump or anything there. And I'm just going to put a little bit out on my hand here. And guys, did I say this was an SPF 30? I think I did. Alright, so I'm just going with just a little bit here. And it's kind of a thick, moussey type consistency. So let's get started, shall we? Now, when I went to Sephora to pick this up, the girl that was there that was working with me, we were doing a color match. Now, in the other tinted moisturizer from NARS, I'm in the color Groenland. And so when I asked her, are the colors the same? So like if I'm in the color Groenland in the Radiant one, would I be in the color Groenland in the matte one? And she told me that usually, yes, that's how it works. But she did say that the foundation does tend to oxidize. She did say that after a couple hours it does oxidize, it does get a little orangey, so maybe we should go for a shade lighter. And so that's what I did. So if it looks really, really light going on, that's why. And just this little bit, guys, that I put on my hand is enough to do my whole face. when you guys are blending this, or when I'm blending it, I'm finding that it dries really, really quickly. So you have to be really quick in blending, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why the Beauty Blender does so much better than the brush, because you know, the Beauty Blender is a little damp, so it keeps the foundation, I guess, a little bit damp as you're applying, and that really helps. The brush just, it dries too quick and you don't really get a good application of the product. Okay, so this is one layer, and it's already dried on my face, and alright, so I'm not even going to finish up the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to talk to you guys about how I feel about this foundation. And honestly, guys, the reason why I'm not going to finish up the rest of my makeup, because the few times that I've actually worn this, I already know that this foundation is not for me. And let me kind of explain to you why. First of all, I'm going to start out with, you know how I told you guys that the girl that was working with me at Sephora, she said, you know, you might go just a little bit lighter because the color does tend to oxidize. Well, on me, the color didn't oxidize. It stayed a little too light and it made me look ashy. Well, okay, so that's not really the reason why I don't like it, because I could exchange it and I could get a darker color, and then, you know, that would be fine. The reason why I don't like it is because it's so drying on my face, and it looks like, when I wear it, it looks like I have a whole bunch of powder on my face when I don't. You know how you get cake face when you wear too much powder? That's what it starts looking like on my face, and I just really, really don't like that at all. I don't like that powdery look. And I've got other matte foundations that keep my face matte, that disguise the pores, but don't look powdery in how they sit on the skin. So even a couple of powder foundations that I have don't even do that. So that's number one why I don't like it. Number two why I don't like it is because my skin is very combination. So I'm oily in the T-zone right here, and I get a little bit oily here and here, but the rest of my face is very dry, and the rest of my face gets really dry. I think a lot of it's due to the acne medications that I've been on, but the rest of my face is dry, especially right through here, and like right through here is very dry on me, and this stuff sticks to every single dry patch. The oily patches, I mean, it doesn't really stick to them, but it doesn't really lay on my skin very nicely. But the dry patches, boy, this stuff just sticks, and then it starts clumping up on those little dry patches. Right now, I'm dry. I'm not peely. My skin isn't peely by any means, but I am very dry. And I'm going to give you guys kind of a close-up so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about how it sticks to those patches. And it makes my skin look peely, even though it's not peely. And forgive me, guys, this stuff with one coat does not cover any of my hyperpigmentation, so I'm going to zoom in. You guys are going to see my hyperpigmentation, but I'm also going to show you how this sits on the skin, and it's not very nice for me. So hold on. Don't look at my big old giant acne. Alright, so let's see if I can get up here so you guys can see how that's sitting. Alright, so first of all, let me go to this side here. Can you guys see right here how that's sitting on the skin and just kind of flaking up? I am dry back here, but I'm not peely and flaky. But look at how that's sitting there. It looks like it's peely and flaky, doesn't it? And it's like that on both areas, both sides. You see it here too? Peely and flaky. And when you look at the chin, and I am oily on the chin, but look at how it's sitting. Look at that. Can you guys see the flakiness looking of it? Okay, and let's take a look at some pores here. See if I can get into some pores. Okay, do you see how it's sitting on my nose right here? Look at that. And don't mind the eyelash. Let me zoom out just a hair. Okay, so you guys can kind of see how that's sitting on my skin. It's kind of flaky looking right up here on my nose, and it's not sitting in the pores very nicely. I mean, it's not, I mean, look at this right here. I don't know if you guys can, it's kind of sinking into the pores a little bit there. Okay guys, so even though it is a matte foundation, it does not in any way, shape, or form mask the pores. The pores are still there. You can still see them big as day. It does kind of sink into the pores. It doesn't leave like little polka dots per se like some foundations do, but I just don't like how it sits on the skin. And believe it or not, like I said, applying it with the Beauty Blender looks better. This actually looks better applied than when I try to apply it with the brush. When I apply it with the brush, then not only is it dry and flaky looking in spots, and it looks really powdery, but it also puts polka dots in my pores when I apply it with the brush. So the Beauty Blender is really the best method for this stuff. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't work for me, but just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you or somebody else. It just doesn't work for me in my skin. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back to Sephora and exchange it for something else. And I'm thinking about exchanging it and getting another one of these guys because I really like this one. So this one, he's just going to have to go back today and get exchanged because I can't spend $44 to have something sit on my face like this. So guys, I hope this video was somewhat helpful, and if it was, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, guys, you can look me up on my website at www.rockfabulousonline.com. You can look me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all under Rock Fabulous 40s. Also, guys, please hit subscribe down there somewhere, and you too can rock your fabulous 40s, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.